Hey! What's good, everybody? It's your boy Roman Puss here with some more OPVR. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking for a video like this, and I wanted to get one out, and I'm going to go over. I'm going to try and keep it a little brief, but give you guys some items down in the description below. So keep the items down in the description below, like, in mind. Just keep out, look out for those. This is going to be an overall medal set guide for you guys, and the items that I like, and the items that I've seen some other people like and stuff. So we're going to dive in and take a look at that. One thing I do want to mention, I am streaming. I will continue to stream. I'm not going to stream on YouTube anymore, and it will be on Twitch only, so I'll leave that in the description below down there. So if you guys ever want to see live streams, it's down there. I know, sorry for the little bit of cringe, but yeah, I just want to mention that, and yeah, so let's move on. Let's get into the medal sets. Alrighty, so before we dive in, to what I like to use, I just want to go over a general basis. Now, this is going to be for more towards people who didn't get, like, event medals, because event medals are in the past and event medals are unachievable. So hence all these pink medals, you will not be able to get them, like, at all because you missed the event. So let's try. I'm trying to stick to medals that are achievable to newer players, to people who can get them right now. With that in mind, I want to go over some base level, like, sets that are available. So you have items like Whole Cake. You have, like, the Whole Cake Island set. So you have Mama, Katakuri, and that's all we have for now, but you have two versions of each. So you can put together a set. I honestly recommend Blue Mama, Green Mama, and a Katakuri medal. That one I think will be one of the better options. And then you have the Luffy set. One of the highest damage output medal sets in the game. I think the best set is Time Skip Luffy, the blue fighter one. G4 Luffy Bounce Man, which is the green fighter. And the Luffy Taro, which is also another blue fighter. So that set, three of those combined, I think are some of the best ones for damage output. And then other, like, big categories you could go for are Worst Generation. I've seen people do those. I think it's like Law, pre-Time Skip Law, pre-Time Skip Kid, along with something else. Like, there's a whole bunch of combinations you can do with that. I don't think the Worst Generation is as crazy, but it can still work. So depending on what units you have and which are available to you. Next up, you have the Warlord. That was the set that I started with. As you can see, like, my very first sets were like Moria, Hancock, and that Doflamingo one obviously is an event one. But yeah, so I grinded out a bunch of Warlord event medals, and that's where I started off. And they honestly, they treated me well, but they're really not that great anymore. But you have different options, like you have Kuma, you have the new Mihawk. I think the new Mihawk one's actually bad, but you have the Boa set. Actually, yeah, actually that's my next one. Yeah, the Boa set. There's 3 Boa Hancocks in the game. If you still happen to get all 3 of them, you can do a medal set between the 3 of them, or if you can just grind out the medals for them. It's fantastic, really good. Some of these sets you can't build attack on, and in order to build attack on them, you're going to need to artificially do that. And every now and then, for those of you that are new, the game hands you like a 14% attack medal that can be thrown onto any medal trait, like any medal. So you can throw it in there. Or if you have the 18% medals, try and grind out those 18% medals so you can get an 18% attack and be able to throw it on a set as well. So you can use that option. Next up, we have Mama specific. I already went over that. You have the Blue Mama, Green Mama, and one of the Katakuris. Probably the Green Katakuri medal, I think, is the better one. Or red one works as well. And then there's a set that I think is really good. It's like there's different damage reduction sets. So it usually involves a Fujitora, a Sengoku, and some other third kind of medal. It varies widely. Or like Corazon. I think Corazon Sengoku, or Corazon Fujitora. I think it's Corazon Fujitora, I believe, are the main 2. And then a third one together. I believe I have that in here, so we'll go over that. I got that one from Hub, so thank you, Hub, for that suggestion. Like, he was looking for a damage reduction set, and I think it's really good. But let's dive into the medal sets that I use. So one of my favorite ones it used to be one of my favorite ones. This is my go-to. This is my full maxed out attack, is the Whole Cake Island. This is pure event ones. You obviously can't do it. You won't be able to get the Cracker one or Smoothie one right now. But whenever the characters do come out, we will get medals for them, and we will basically be able to do a Whole Cake set with them. This Warlord, this was my very first set that I ever did, like 70% attack. I was grinding it out. You have Hancock, you have Moria. The Moria medal is really not that good. It gives you 1% HP. The Hancock one can be useful, but this one's not crazy good. And this Doflamingo one was actually really good because when an ally dies, you get cooldown time of skill 1 by 6%. So that was really good back in the day. One of my favorite sets, I love to use the Beast Attack medal. The Kaido's medal is really, really good, and I'll explain to you why, but not necessarily in this set. This Kaido one just kind of completes this set, but it's not really that great. Once we get actual Jack and the Queen and the King medals, then it'll be perfect and it'll be a much better set. But the Jack, if you have the Queen and Jack set, then obviously they're really, really good. Now here's the Luffy set that I have currently. I don't have the Luffy Taro medals to put together, but so I'm using Stampede Luffy. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad. Keep in mind you can't build attack on a lot of these medals, if any of them. Some of them I think you actually can, but for the most part you will have to like artificially do these, so like you can't actually build attack on these rates. Like there's no way you can actually build attack by normally doing it. So over time you'll have to see if you can accumulate an attack % medal on those. Fishman, skip those. Here's the Mama medal set. This one, the regular whole cake set is not that great because you don't have capture speed. But when you have the 2 Mama medals, because you need the captain tag, you'll get capture speed boost, which is really, really good. If you're still having to get the Brulee, I think the Brulee is really good because it gives you 18% for Charlotte items as well. So I did that. This set I don't use currently, but once it's complete, I will be probably utilizing that one. The green Mama medal gives you 3% HP. That one's not crazy because you definitely lose more than 3% HP when you're fighting someone, so I really don't think that one's that worth. Other CDR, like here's some CDR one says, I never really use this one, but it is an option. I am personally a fan of a lot of tags. So if they don't have a lot of tags and they're kind of awkward, then I don't prefer to use them. Like this one only has skill 2 capture speed and skill 1, so it's really nothing crazy. I'm not a fan of like when you have this little amount of tags. So I usually refrain away from those, but sometimes they're okay. Thriller Bark set. This used to be one of the better damage reduction sets in like back in the day. Events, you can't really do those. For those of you grinding out, this Lucci medal is usually really, really good. Eventually, we'll get a Jaibera, maybe, and see if we can get an actual different Wolf medal. But if you have these, obviously great set. CP9 set's really good. You have Khalifa, kind of was an other event that you could use. Otherwise, you could use the Red Lucci set. You could red Lucci, Green Lucci, or 2 Luccis and Kaku. But these give you a bunch of tags. You get full 5 tags. They're all 3 trio effects, so they're pretty good. Use skill 1, skill 2, skill 1, skill 2, dash, capture speed, and the last one was the other. I don't remember what it was. I have like different like blue specific sets, so I obviously have 2 different Luffy Taro sets or Luffy sets, so strongly recommend using them. They are one of the better ones. Now here is one of the ideal sets. If you are playing a tanky person, you need skill 1 cooldown, this is your go-to. People like Urouge, people like Big Mom, V2, like I love it. This is my set for V2 Big Mom, and it's specific to her because it's like runner only stuff. So okay, this one's Charlotte family stuff, whatever. Charlotte family and Blue Element. Kaido and Urouge medals, both of them give you the same trait. When you get hit, you reduce skill 1 by 2%. So like every time you get hit. So that's 4% cooldown every time you get hit. So if you're fighting a Snake Man, that's actually super fat cooldown because he hits you a bunch of times, or Lucci's. So you keep getting your skill 1 up, which lets you keep using that. The Drake one just kind of rounds it off, gives you like a good amount of tags. Let me look at the tags that gives me complete. So it doesn't give me the most tags, but it gives me something, which is better than nothing. So keep that in mind. I think this is one of the better sets. You can always replace it if you have the Hawkins medal. I believe potentially Luffy Taro you could use. That will give you Captain Worst Generation. So you could use Luffy Taro if you want, and yeah, so different items like that. Here's my damage reduction. This is one of the better damage reduction sets. One of the better damage reduction medal sets in the game. You have Fuji, Corazon, all of, like each time you have different circumstances that give you damage reduction, and I believe it caps out at 20% is the most, which is actually disgusting. So if you have that sugar, this one, it is really good. Most people don't, so you can definitely replace that with a Blue Sabo medal potentially, or a Sengoku medal. Different options. There's more CP9. Here's the Boa set. This Boa set, I think, potentially took over the Luffy set. Might even be better because this one gives you skill 1. You get skill 1. You get skill 1, skill 2, dodge, capture rate. What does the Parmesan one give you? Oh, that one's dodge. Kuja Pirates gives you reduced damage. I believe you have reduced damage and increased damage. Yes. And full, like, it's actually a beautiful set. Like, it feels so good. Fantastic. Would recommend. That one is achievable. They're all yellow medals. You can get them. A couple of my favorites. I use this Enel set. This one I have 18% medals on. This one I think is a really good all-around like general starter. You can, yes, this is a pink medal, but you are able to achieve it for those newer players. You can buy it in the Cola shop, or one of the shops somewhere. I believe it is Cola shop. You have reduced skill 1, really good. You have chance to shock. I know 3% sounds very low, but 3% actually can be a good chunk, and it can save your life, which it has many a times for me. And then damage reduction, overall really good. Really good, like if you're gonna be tanky, I don't know, I love it. That's one of my favorite sets that I have. It feels so good, and you get the 4 tags, all trio effect. So, really good, all around. I love it. You don't get capture speed, but that's fine. You get skill 1, skill 2, and that. This one This one I think is a really good runner set. You have obviously all yellow medals. You can achieve them all. You just gotta have the characters or be able to grind them out somewhere. Sometimes you'll achieve them with playing. If someone's using the character in the game, you have a chance to get them. It gives you skill 1, 20%. You have all these good amount of tags, and you have a bunch of capture speed. So this one gives you capture speed when your health is more than 80%. You get 8% bonus. This one's just kind of to round it off a little bit. Increase damage when you're not near, when allies are not near, and then this one gives you when the treasure is above 50%, you get increased capture speed as well. So it's really good for runners. I love it. This is my go-to. It's for my red runners, but it's what I use for them. Other see, here's like a warlord, like this potential option. I was just trying things out here. You have a good amount of tags. This one I believe I was told the skill 1. If you're really looking for fat skill 1, you have the Shanks, gives you KO, reduce skill. This one just gives you no tags. I don't like using this one. I just kind of like put it here just to see what it looked like. Doesn't give you very many tags, but this one you just sit on your treasure. That's fine. You get skill 1. This one, when allies die, you get skill 1. If you're really trying to pound that skill 1, then it works. Your best bets for getting skill 2 cooldowns are either to get the trio effect, and if you have the smoothie medal. I know there's some other medals that have it as well, but when you get a kill, you can reduce skill time by 8%. Or your other option is, I believe there's another medal somewhere. If you just look for skill cooldown when you're searching for medals, there's another one that gives you cooldown reduction that I believe is not event medal. So, but I don't think it's that great. I believe based off the tags, I couldn't remember which medal it was. Yeah, so that is the medals that I am using. Make sure you keep trying. There's like a full chart that, thanks to Joel, like from the Facebook. Okay, I said that sounds weird. My friend Joel. Play with him all the time. He created a big giant chart that I'm going to put down below. Put a link to that. It is a very good baseline start if you want to try and toy around with those sets. I kind of want to leave you guys to your own creativity. Kind of don't just like copy paste what other people do. I think like trying to like find your own creativity, trying to like do your own things. Obviously there are a baseline of good sets for certain things, so like go ahead. But yeah, there's different like combos you can try, and maybe you'll find something new that's even better. But yeah, so make sure you take a look at that as well. And thank you so much, Joel, for putting together that chart. That must have taken a lot of time, and it is insane. But I want you guys to definitely check that out because it is large and a lot of options. With that, you guys, that is all I have. That is my overall medal baseline guide. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your favorite sets are for which characters. Like, what is your favorite, like, skill 2 cooldowns, favorite skill 1 cooldowns, favorite capture speed cooldowns, or, like, items cooldowns. But, yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and be sure to, like, follow, subscribe, share the video if you like, and sorry for the cringe, but, yes, thank you so much for you guys for watching, and I am your boy, Roman Puss, and we're going to be taking off. Yeah, peace, beautiful people.